Morning students, now today we'll discuss about the projection of point, the next problem. First draw the XY line. Draw the XY line. So now read the problem. In this case the point P is the P point is 15 mm above HP and 20 mm in front of VP. So above HP in front of VP, so we know that this is a horizontal plane line, this is a vertical plane line. So above HP and in front of VP means it will be in the which quadrant? First quadrant. So now it belongs to the first quadrant. So first of all mark the key point in the first quadrant. So we know that in the first quadrant we get the image above the XY line is the front view, below XY line is the top view. Now the mark the P point, front view is P dash, front view is P dash, distance is 15, P dash, front view. The front view we have to mark the HP distance. So the distance will be 15, but you have to show in the dimension format. Just I was shown here in this case roughly just the value only the 15 has to be you have to show the dimensions format. Now similarly for this case the top view will be below the XY line. So in the case of top view we know that we will get the distance from the VP. That means VP distance we have to mark in the top view as this distance will be 20. So it will be small p will be 20. Small p dash and small p. So now the other point was given here. The point Q is another point Q is 25 mm behind VP, 40 mm below HP. So 40 mm below HP and 25 mm behind VP. So we know that below HP and behind VP, which means that it belongs to the third quadrant. So we know that in the case of third quadrant, uh, above XY is the top image, but below XY is the front view image. In the case of third quadrant. But before going to marking the P point, it was mentioned here. Draw the projections of the P and Q, keeping their projectors. The distance between their projectors is equal to 90 mm. So that means we solved the P problem. Now we want to solve the Q problem on the same experiment such way that the distance between these two projectors will be 90. So just mark the distance from this P projector line to on the XY line. The distance will be 90. It will be 90 because we need to start the problem the Q problem from the 90 distance. Okay. Now mark the Q point also. So the top view is for Q, it will be above XY line because it is in the third quadrant. So mark here Q top view above XY line, Q top view, and the distance is top view means we need to draw the VP distance. So from VP the distance will be 15 here. The distance will be 15 here. Mark this distance will be the 25. VP distance is 25 for the Q. And similarly, the Q dash, that is what we call front view, will be below XY line. That is will be Q dash means front view means we will get the we have to mark here HP distance. The distance will be 40. The distance will be 40. So after that, just we need to draw the straight lines joining their top views and their front views. Now simply join the uh, P front view with sorry, Q front view. The Q front view will be here. Q front view will be Q dash, small Q dash. Now join P front view and Q front view with a straight line. Similarly, join P top view with Q top view with a straight line. And you know that this distance will be the distance between these projectors must be 90 mm. So that means here this is a P projector and this is what we call a projector, Q projector. This distance must be 90 mm. You have to show in the dimension format. I was roughly shown there itself, but you have to show like this. So fill the arrow marks, neatly fill the arrow marks here. And it will be 90 mm. So this is the solution for this case. Next, we'll go with another problem. Let us solve this problem. Similar to the same case. Again, draw the XY line. Draw the XY line. So read the problem first of all. 2 points A and B are in HP. Now we can write here individually. The point A is in the HP. So B is also in the HP. And the point A is 30 mm in front of VP. So it is a 30 mm in front of VP. So first of all, focus on the A point. So if you take n, these are the four quadrants. The point A is in the HP and in front of VP. So it must be in front of VP, but on the HP. This is a horizontal plane. This is a vertical plane. He mentioned clearly the point A is on HP, but it is in front of VP. But it is on HP. That is HP distance is 0. HP distance is 0. But we can say that here the expected quadrant will be either first quadrant or second quadrant. So as we discussed here, the distance from the HP is 0. The solution will be same. Either we can take the first quadrant or we can take the first quadrant. So I am taking here the A point is in the first quadrant. So because it is the first quadrant, we know that in the case of first quadrant, the above XY line is the front view and below XY line is the top view. So first of all, the mark the front view. So because the object is A here, the front view name will be A dash. So A dash we have to mark here above XY line with HP distance. But in this case, A is in the HP means here, in the HP means HP distance will be 0. Hence, we have to mark the A dash point on exactly XY line. Next, top view will be below XY line. Top view means we have to mark here VP distance. VP distance is 30. So hence you have to mark top view below XY line with what is the distance of this point here? It will be 30. So this 30 I am writing just value only, but we have to show as per the dimension format. Now we draw the position of the A with respect to the XY line. Similarly, now go to the next point. Now B is also in the HP. Okay. But the other condition, while B is behind VP. So in this case, he mentioned the B is behind VP, but the distance is not given. he said that it is behind VP. So, and what he mentioned here, the distance between their projectors is 75 mm. So we got already the A point projector, that is A dash A. This is a A dash A projector. Now the point B, we have to start from the A dash A projector to B dash B projector to distance will be 75. Hence here you have to mark here. You have to mark here on the XY line. First of all, what is the distance between these two projectors? It will be 75. Mark another point on the XY because the A projector and B projector, the distance will be the 75. Now think about the B point. So he is not given here the B is in the HP, but it is a behind VP. So we can see here the B point is behind VP, but in the HP. B behind VP, but in the HP means the B point can be able to lie in the second or third quadrant, but we can take either second or third quadrant. Now for this case, I am assuming that the B point will be here second or third quadrant. Now I am taking second quadrant because one distance is 0 because it is in the HP means here HP distance is also 0 for B also because B is in the HP. B is in the HP means HP distance will be 0. From the HP the distance will be 0. Hence the solution will be the same for either you can take the second quadrant or you can take the third quadrant. Now after marking 75 distance, now you can mark this point will becomes here the because you assume that it is a second quadrant, either second or third quadrant for B point. Now I am assuming second quadrant means both front view as well as top view will be for the B point will be above XY line. And now draw the this point will becomes here default B dash. So we doesn't know the top view is above XY line only, but we doesn't know the distance from the VP because he clearly mentioned behind VP only. He is not mentioned the what is the distance from the VP. But since we doesn't know the distance from VP, then you can draw the B dash some line somewhere else. V doesn't know this line. You can draw simply a line here. Okay, you can draw this line here. Now, uh, next, what is the clue is given here by joining line joining of their top views makes an angle of 45 degrees with the XY line. So here A is the top view. B top view we doesn't know because VP distance is not given. But when you join, this is A point. The B point somewhere will be here B point. While joining these two points with respect to XY line, it is a 45 degrees. So by joining up the top views with XY line is a 45 degrees means here. So now we can draw the A line parallel to XY from A top view. This angle is also nothing but 45 degrees. Hence, what we need to do here, so from the A, just you draw the parallel line to XY here like this. Because this is a A top view, B top view, we doesn't know where it lies. But what is the clue means by joining of A top view to B top view, this angle is 45 degrees. Hence, you have to mark here. Here we have to mark here with respect to this line the angle is 45 degrees. Later you join the this line at a 45 degrees angle. Wherever it meets this projector line B dash projector line, this point will become the small b. So after that we have to measure the this distance of B point from the XY line, which is nothing but the distance from the EP. So in this case, almost we will get this distance will be almost you can get 45. nearly 4.5 centimeters. We will get in centimeters. You have to convert into mm. 4.5 centimeters. We can get the length by drawing and measuring, and we have to show it in mm only. 45. So like this, we need to solve the problem for this case. So we will discuss the last problem in case of mm, this point problems. So this is a for this case we need to draw the solution. So similarly now draw the first of all xy line. So here he was given clearly there is a point here 30 xy line which is the plan view of the 2 points P and Q. So let us mark here, let us mark a point. First of all, let us mark here a point here. What he is saying that it is from XY line is this distance is 30 which is nothing but the plane view of the 2 points. That means plan view is nothing but here indirectly we call it as a top view. Plan view or top view both are same. That means P top view is here, small p. Even Q top view is also here. So what we got here, the PQ top view are above the XY line as per the clue given in the question. Now if you observe here, the elevation of P is, the point P is if you take n, is a 45 above HP. So let us focus on the P point. If you take in the four quadrants, so we know that we are having a doubt on where the P point lying. So if you take in the point P is above HP. Above HP means the possibility will be either it will be first quadrant or the possibility will be second quadrant for the P point. For the P point. But we have to decide for this case whether it is in the first quadrant or second quadrant. Suppose for example let us assume if the P is in the first quadrant, let us assume this is the XY line. When we assume it is in the first quadrant, so the front view of the P will be above XY line and top view of the P will be below XY line. Okay, but in the problem it was mentioned the P top view is above XY line. He was mentioned clearly. Above XY line is the top view already we drawn here. We drawn here already here. The P top view is above XY line, which means that the P point should not belongs to the first quadrant because if it is the first quadrant means the top view will be below X line. But the question was mentioned here will be above X line. Okay, that is the first point. Hence, P is not belongs to first quadrant. Hence, it belongs to the hence it belongs to second quadrant. In the case of P is second quadrant means now we concluded P should be belongs to second quadrant. So, because the P is second quadrant means both front view as well as top view for the P point will be above the XY line. We know that second quadrant front view top view will be above the XY line. Already we represented here that front view point P above the XY line. Now I want, sorry, top view I was marked here. I want to mark here front view also above the equivalent as it is belongs to first quadrant. Now simply draw the front view of the P, that is above equivalent. What is the distance of this P? Front view means here we need to mark here HP distance. What is the HP distance here? It was given here 45. Hence it will be P dash. This distance must be from XY line. This distance must be it will be 45 from XY line. So we confirm that P is in the which quadrant? Second quadrant. And in the question also we mentioned state their position with reference or principal place. So we have to write here separately the point P is you have to write in the sentence format. The point P second quadrant means it is above HP behind VP. Hence we have to write here the point P is the point P is 45 mm above HP and 30 mm behind. This sentence we have to write here. Now we confirmed the P is in the second point. Now go to the next point Q. So Q point also the top view will be above equivalent. He mentioned here above equivalent is the top view of the both points. That means Q top view is also above equivalent. But what is the other distance he was mentioned here? Q is 30 mm below HP. The point Q is mentioned here below HP 35 mm below HP. Now we want to decide in which quadrant the Q point will lies here. So when you taken these four quadrants, below HP means it may belongs to third or it may belongs to fourth quadrant in the case of Q point. But when you take n, now we want to decide whether Q is the third quadrant or fourth quadrant. If we assume it is in the fourth quadrant, if it is in the fourth quadrant, if we assume Q is in the fourth quadrant, so in the case of fourth quadrant, we need to draw the both front view and top view below the XY line. But in this case, he mentioned Q top view is above XY line. So since Q top view is clearly given above XY line, hence it is not belongs to the fourth quadrant. So the Q point must be it is in the third quadrant. It is not belongs to the fourth quadrant. Hence you have to mark Q will be in the top for third quadrant means Q top view is above XY line is already above XY line already marked here. But because it is the third quadrant, Q front view will be below XY line. Here mark the Q front view below the XY line. So what is the name of this Q point means it will be Q dash front view because it is third quadrant. And what is the distance of this Q dash means it will be from XY line. HP distance means here it will be 35. So mark here with the 35 distance. So this is what we call dimension. This dimension we have to show here for every size to represent by filling arrow marks. You have to fill the arrow marks here, and middle you have to left the gap and write the value here 35. And in the question also he asked to write the position. So the point Q is you have to say third quadrant means below HP behind VP. Hence it is 35 mm below HP and 30 mm behind below and so that means P is here second quadrant, Q is here third quadrant. So like this we have to solve the solution. Thank you.